Good afternoon and welcome to ATN Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to preferring solutions that will benefit humanity. Let's go through the headlines. Religion. Nun blows hot over sexual harassment. Mother suicide. Soldier kills wife self. Moral renewal. Tinubu set to distribute 1 million Bibles. And ASU, NLC backs strike, slams government. Remember, we are open for sponsorship of this program. Jingles and advert placement, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product service promotion, and commercials. Watch us live on www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We're also on Avo TV channel 205, Limex TV platform, Infostech platform, Apple TV, Niger TV, and Iroko TV. Connect with us on all our ATN socials. So subscribe, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. We are on X on Atlantic TV Net. We go on a break. When we get back, I'll introduce my guests and we'll dive right into the reports. Please stay with us. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Here with me in the studio to dive into this report is Davis Ababo, Public Affairs Analyst. We're so glad to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go right into the report. Dismissed Catholic nun, Reverend Sister Anastasia Kensen, has claimed she has evidence to prove she was sexually harassed by a priest, but insists she will not make it public. She made the statement during an interview by newsmen, where she alleged that her dismissal from Veritas University in Abuja followed her attempt to expose alleged sexual misconduct within the church. Anastasia said she has both audio and video recordings implicating a priest, but has chosen to keep it private. She added that her complaints to church authorities were dismissed as persistent grumbling. She recounted several incidents involving priests, including unwanted advances and inappropriate physical contact. According to her, one priest allegedly attempted to touch her in his room, while another placed a belt on her waist to measure her size. The nun said she reported this incident to her superiors, but they told her to ignore the situation. She described the experiences as traumatic and claimed they were later used against her to label her unstable. The church has not yet issued an official response to her allegations. Now, a few weeks ago, from a nun, Anastasia did come out to call out the Catholic Church and the priest in Abuja, where she, in the convent she served in, to say many of the ladies there were being sexually harassed by the priests. And she was dismissed subsequently after making that report. What are your thoughts on this report?
Well, to me, she says she don't want it to go public. But like this, is it outside or public or inside? It's already outside, so there's nothing to hide. She should just go straight to the point and start telling her true story.
To tender the evidence?
Yeah. To me, I believe that's the best. And come to think about it, I never knew priests also have those things normal men have, because being a priest, you've been breathed to kill every thought of
the
sexual,
flesh.
Yeah,
right.
You understand. At the end of the day, you find out that somebody is coming, a nun is coming out to say, a priest feel like somehow.
Oh, last year, if I'm not getting it right, a priest did leave to marry, someone he has been seeing. He left, and I think he was subsequently suspended or something around that nature. So, of course, like I usually say, before people became men of God, they were first men of men.
Agreed.
Before, they concretely became men of God. But, with this sort of report, what is the precedent for people wanting to go into, this level of Christianity where you want to be a priest, you want to be a nun? Why do you think people now leave more often than it used to be back in the day?
Back in the days, before you become a priest, you start from your little age.
Okay.
Today, most people have finished university. After university, they decide to be a priest.
So they've already experienced the flesh.
They already know what is there to do. Before now, if your parents ask you to be a nun or a priest, they bring you up in the way of being that thing they want you to be. If you fall astray, immediately your parents will put you on the line again. But today, you will not tell me that a priest is now maybe 15, 16 years after secondary school. They play in secondary school alone. Before you go to the school that's just for priests, only men, then you will still have the same situation of a priest becoming a gay. You understand? At the end of the day, if you weigh the options, as you said, men were men before they became men of God.
Right.
You understand? And this, for this very situation, probably this priest has been admiring this lady for a very long time. She just have to try and check her measurement of her hips or something.
But now, she has been dismissed. She has been, let out. She has been let go. What is the faith for other people, other nuns, going through this sort of, harassment, if I say so myself, against their will, and not wanting to budge, but if they come out to talk, they get thrown out? What is the fate for all those people still in the conventry and still being nuns?
The truth about it is, once you get thrown out, they give you the privilege to show your proof.
Okay.
They give you the privilege to testify. In a situation like that, the person coming to tell you as a leader that this is what is happening to me, the best you can do is to caution the priest. But at the end of the day, you say the person bringing the story to you should go. It's for the person to take the story outside. If I was that lady, today, this priest would be in problem.
So you think she should come out?
It's time to come out. Since they have thrown you out, what are you waiting for now? You're already outside, so just bring out everything.
But then the idea was to be in that place to serve God. Doesn't that bring the whole situation to ridicule when it
Can
comes
I make you understand something? When
Please.
it comes to Christianity, have you been to a church for the first time? You believe everybody that's there. Probably you listen to them on the radio, you see
Right.
the church on the TV.
Okay.
You believe there's God here. You decide to worship with them. The first day of going to the church, one usher just put you on a tension that you don't need. In short, you don't need to be here. For example, you drop your Bible, you went to ease yourself. As you come back, she carried your Bible and keep outside that you're not supposed to sit inside here. And you're new in that church. How will you feel? You feel bad, right? The same thing happening there. If you're being thrown out when you decide to worship God, the truth about it is that you come out fully and tell the world what your story is. Because to them, they will send the story every other place that you're the person seducing the priest. They believe they have their own story to cover up.
Right.
But now, according to her, she has evidence. There's nothing there. Bring her your evidence. Let the world see what the church is all about.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report. But then again, you know that over time, when we talk about religion and when we talk about Catholics, there are many people that have come out to, make cases. Even boys will say, I was, attacked and harassed by this priest. And I'm talking about it from even the upper echelon. I'm talking about it, from Rome. You hear the stories from all over, all across board. But usually, it's something that is, this option usually comes in to say they want to handle it internally. Do you think this being handled internally has rather sequeled the voice of people as opposed to making it more amplified for people to hear?
To me, I feel handling it internally is good.
Okay.
But it depends how you handle it. It depends how you handle it. For example, this situation now, the nun cried to the leader.
Right.
This is what is happening to me. You call the man. Why do you do this? If he does not have any, she says she has proof. She show you her proof. You send him somewhere else. If you don't want him to stay around there for the secret to be there, you send him somewhere else instead of sending her away. Right. You sending her away is like telling her, go and tell the world your story. That's what I feel.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report. Nigerian Army has launched an investigation into the sudden death of a serving soldier and his wife inside Wawa Cantonment, Ilorin. Lance Corporal Femi and his wife were reportedly found dead in their apartment at Block 15, Room 24, Corporals and Below Quarters. Preliminary findings indicate the soldier was on duty but had sought permission from his superior to briefly attend to personal matters before returning. Shortly after, both he and his wife were discovered lifeless. The army has preserved their remains and ordered an in-depth investigation to determine the circumstances surrounding the incident. Commander of the 22 Armored Brigade, Brigadier General Ezra Bakins, assured the public of a transparent probe. He said findings will be made public and measures taken to prevent similar cases. The Army extended condolences to the family and colleagues of the deceased and appealed for public understanding and cooperation during the investigation. Last week, we had a case of a soldier that his wife poured petrol on and, and lit him up.
Yeah.
And sadly, he succumbed to his injuries while at the hospital and passed. Even though that story seemingly, has taken a different turn, what are your thoughts on this report?
A man on duty decided to go home and was found dead. There are many things that you can start thinking. What pushed him home? That's one. What pushed him home? The second situation there is he was found dead with his wife. Something must have caused it.
Out there in the reports are, circling all over Nigeria at this time, did suggest that he murdered his wife and unalived himself.
But
Right.
it's not proven presently.
Right, because it's still on investigation. It's quite a recent
So
report.
let's not just jump into conclusion. What if the woman cooked food and decided to give to him? He find out that she wanted to poison him. He said the both of them must have to eat together. They eat the food and the both of them die. What will you say about that?
Now, let's talk about this based off of the dynamics of domestic abuse, because the reason I pointed out, did a reference to the case we had to deal with last week, is basically because we can't have this continue. Why do we have this so prevalent just now?
I'll say this season, the period we find ourselves, like you can hardly hear these things back in the days. It's hard to hear that somebody will decide to kill his partner. But today, in short, this generation presently, you cannot really hold anything at hand because you can't even trust the child that is with you. Not to talk about the woman or the man that is with you. The truth about life is some people need fast money. Some believe they are being oppressed and they need freedom. The only way they need to get free from that toxic relationship is somebody has to go down.
Why does it have to be somebody going down instead of someone walking away from, preventing, as it were, for someone from going down?
That's what I'm telling you. That's where we find ourselves today. They believe it's better you're no more than I seeing you. So this generation is something else that we have come to a level that they don't even think death to them is normal. Back then when we were growing up, if you hear prison, it's as if they are taking you to hell. But today you discuss with some set of young people, they'll tell you, do you know how many times I've been to the prison? 4 times, 5 times. It's normal now. There's nothing there. So if you wait our generation then and now, you find out that people of nowadays, I believe they have no fear. They have no fear. They can unlife anything.
Is it about fear to you, or not the lack of it? Or is it that people have failed now, in recent times when you look at it, found a balance of living together as a couple?
Come to think about it, the last time I was there, I made a comment like, children give birth to children. I still stand on that ground.
Okay.
Why? Back in the days, before a father gives birth to his first child, a city father gives birth to his first child, he's approximately 35, 40.
Okay.
So he takes time to cherish that child, nurse that child, make sure the child is on the right path. Today, you see a 15 years old girl and a 16 or 17 years old boy. They have 1 baby. Before they get to 20, they have 7. Ask me, how will they take care of those children? It's not possible.
The Lord will provide.
God, the Lord will provide, the Lord will provide, the Lord will provide. Once the girl child gets to 10, they will now ask the child that very question. Are you not seeing Sudanna's child? She'll just go as fresh water before you know she'll buy bread and come and give her mother. You cannot buy and come and give your mother. You are not seeing that boy, Timothy? Don't you see the kind of car he drives? A 17 years old boy. A father telling his child that, can't you see that? What do you expect? You're telling the child now to do what that person is doing, which pushes that young man to that person you're telling him to. Be like, Paddy man, how you make money? Don't worry, I'll show you. Kill your woman. You know, go hard, just kill her. Before you blink, you have money.
So you think that is the decadence that has
That's
raised
one
into
of
this?
it.
Then why do women also kill men? Because it's vis-a-vis.
Agreed. The same thing. Do you believe that it's only men that do this new business called Yahoo? No.
It's Yahoo a business.
As we stand today.
Just yesterday, the federal government did criticize Yahoo to say that it is not a hustle. it is a criminal action. It's been in the news. This line was exactly what the federal government did say, that Yahoo is not some form of a hustle. It's not I'm hustling to succeed. You're a criminal. So we can't afford to even say call Yahoo any form of business, because of course fraud is always going to be a bad action, especially for the youth and wherever it gets to happen to.
Agreed. The people that are saying it's not a business, check their bank account. How many are we in Nigeria? If one person that's saying that has more than 20 billion in his account, how many are we in Nigeria? Will you compare him to that Yahoo boy? Is his own a legit business? Let's not go there. They're even worse than this set of people.
Who is worse?
These same people that are saying Yahoo is not a business, they are worst. You know why I say they are worst? When it gets to politics, you know. The same thing we are talking about now that triggers a man killing his wife, young boy killing his father. It comes from somewhere. This same set of politicians gets to power. Once it gets to politics, they pay people money to do some killings for them. For example, a 17-year-old boy have a friend that is 20. This is 20 years old friend lure him to join him to go and do one business their oga sent them. At the end of the day, they are being caught. Who sent you? Our oga. They'll call a big name. I put it to you that name will not cross water, but these children will go to serve for it.
So you think it's because of hardship and people struggling to survive? That is why couples now kill each other? Or you think we have lost? Now, when you look at it, if you go through the way our marital system works, a man would leave home, especially I hope you're a Christian, so I'm going to talk about it from a Christian perspective. When we get to church, there's usually this long train of counseling. So in some churches, 6 to 8 months. And the pastors are talking to the couple, love one another. The lady that set her husband on fire got married to him this year. Right, they were married for just a couple of months. What did you think went wrong? What happened to all the counseling and all the advice? What happened to, are the relationships now better than being in the marriages? What do you think has gone wrong holistically when you look at the picture of marriages just now?
To me, I feel it all depends on the individual.
Oh, because we are having it repeatedly, so are we going to say something is wrong with all the individuals getting married? This Saturday, from a mile to a mile, all the halls are full. People are getting married this Saturday, at least 80.
Yes.
What has gone wrong? And why aren't those marriages working anymore? That people succumb to killing one another.
They believe starting relationship is far different from marriage. Once you're married, the real player begins. The real life you have starts showing. For the man, if he's hiding plenty things, he now starts opening it. This is what I like, this is what I like. Your queen did not tell me before.
So why wasn't those information disclosed before?
For you to marry.
So people come into marriage with pretense, that's why we have this.
1 million marriage today, it's pretense. A woman pretends to love your full family. Once she gets into the house, she becomes tiger. Once your family near that door, she asks, go tell your brother to go. In the smell. Since she know that the brother has not been smelling, today, because they are married, you go tell your brother to go in the smell. The man will now look like, auntie, calm down now. I still go tell her to go, no, I'll leave this marriage. The fear of a common man. Brother, go, come, I'll give you money, go. Don't worry, when you get any problem, call me, I will come settle her. She heard that one, another problem. My sister no well. She need 500,000. With those plenty problem, is it that the man run away? Or if he say he does not have, she carry her bag and go.
Is that not a better approach than someone killing someone else? Do you think that, no, now when you look at it, now you talked about carrying your bag. Do you think that people are able to easily walk away from this thing? So, because, you know, the society we are in is very judgmental. When you live a marriage, I met someone a few years ago, a man that has married 3 times.
Professional.
Right? And it was so surprising because usually I feel that it's easier to meet women that have married 3 times than for you to meet men. And he has married 3 times and about to marry for the 4th time.
In the presence of God.
In the presence of God.
Oh my God.
And I just felt like, I don't know, I felt like if you have tried this 1, 2, 3, 4 times, he's now on the 4th one. And I quite appreciate the fact that he was open to talk about the fact that he was married, he's remarried, he's been able to learn the lessons from, you know, each of his partners that he has been with, and he's hoping to do better, you know,
with the 4th one.
With the 4th
that
person.
will still pursue.
I don't know about that. But, you know, with the 4th person, he's hoping that he's going to do better. But what I'm trying to get out of you just now is this. He didn't get to kill any of those partners. He didn't walk and people walked away. Right. Why don't people walk away amicably and peacefully?
Sometimes, why?
Instead of, you know, getting to kill
why they
someone
walk
else.
away, probably, most of the time, probably. Sometimes I feel they are scared of him, or it's not worth it. But presently, most young people don't look at life as, let me walk away. They believe it's better you don't leave. They don't come to this world to see you again. Let everybody rest. If the children will suffer, let them suffer.
And that sort of mindset doesn't take us anywhere, does it?
It does not.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report. 1 million copies of the Holy Bible are to be distributed across Nigeria in honor of Barrister Sheyi Tinubu, son of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The initiative was unveiled at a Thanksgiving service held at the National Christian Center, Abuja, organized by Friends of Sheyi Tinubu and coordinated by Honorable Bello Sochukwu Enwere, National Chairman of Yowikan. Organizers say the project aims to promote moral renewal, ethical leadership and civic responsibility among young Nigerians through churches and community groups nationwide. Enwere explained that the effort was conceived to inspire moral transformation and not a personal celebration. Clergymen from multiple denominations described the initiative as significant at a time of declining moral values. Sheyi Tinubu, in a message read on his behalf, thanked organizers, emphasizing that faith and moral education remain essential to responsible citizenship and national growth. The first batch of Bibles will be distributed to churches, schools, and youth ministries nationwide in the coming weeks. How do you think this Bible distribution, in what ways can it help us as a people? Let's talk about it.
Sheyi Tinubu distributing how many? 1 million Bibles?
Yes, please.
Well, politics, it's a game. And come to think about it, no matter what you do in politics, you always play to win. I've not heard anywhere that you buy a bundle of Quran and go and give to the Muslims. But it's easier to hear somebody buy 1 million Bible to give to the Christians. They say Christianity is free, but you must buy Bible. Now Christianity is free, I will go give you Bible. That's what they're telling us. It's not really a bad idea, because come to think about it, I still believe it's not everybody that can afford the Bible.
Okay.
But to stand on the ground to tell you that this is politically related.
You don't think it's a timely effort?
No. No. It's a plan for the future.
I mean, we are currently, students are currently on strike. Universities are currently on strike with ASU. Even though the federal government has talked about not getting to pay them. Since youths are home, this Bible should be a good initiative to help us, guide us morally. You know, so the youths can stay home and read the Bible.
Agreed. Why didn't he at the same time share the Quran to every other person so that it will be balanced?
Now, when we're talking about this via a religious perspective, you know that the United States did, they're moving to the House of Commons to say that Christians in Nigeria are persecuted and killed. Lots of them, the figures are startling, right? Do you think that this whole idea of sharing this Bible is a bit to, curb that as regards our oneness, to show our oneness as opposed to, just being an action that is politically motivated, as it were?
Auntie, there's nothing anybody can tell me. There's nobody that can convince me. You see, this move is the best political strategy any man like that can use.
But no, it's not just Christians that vote.
It's not just Christians that vote.
Of course.
That's why I asked the question. What you give to Paul, give to Barnabas. We can agree that we have good populations of Christians and Muslims. Like you say, they are on strike. It's not only Christians that are on strike.
Of course.
The Muslims are also on strike. If you want to show you're doing a good work, give to the both parties.
Okay.
But now you're fighting for the Christian aspect. Why? Because you feel, first, I'll say the government has failed us by giving us Muslim tickets. That's one. To make it to you, I believe to him, let's keep begging these people to believe we still have them in mind. This is the strategy. He did say the idea is to help boost, better ethical behaviors and moral behaviors among youths, right? Now, when you go into time to see what's been going on in Nigeria, several things have gone wrong. I don't know if you were aware when few people have been killed and abducted in recent times. Will this sharing get to the people committing the crime in society? Does it move when maybe it gets to the kidnappers' camps and and the headsmen and all the people that are the bandits, as it were? Do you think this Bible will get to them and create a change of heart for them? Do you think that it's going to move us from the hunger? Do you think when people go through the scriptures, it's going to help with inflation? What exactly do you think this drive is aimed to do? Aside the moral purification? I'll put it to you that Nigeria is the only country that you want to play sport, you hear somebody say, God will help us. Now, Nigeria is supposed to play a match today, and they are waiting for the help of God to make the other two countries lose for them to qualify. This is the only country. They are praying. If you talk about prayer, if it's only prayer that brings development, Nigeria will be the number one. If it's prayer, churches that want to have to keep your economy strong, Nigeria will be the number one. People fast 48 days without drinking water, and some of them die just because of God and Bible. At the end of the day, we are still where we are. The time we are using to do all these things, for example, you said something, if the bandits are they Christians? Have you not seen video of them killing? Allah Akbar, Allah. That's why I asked that same question.
But there's still certain terrorists. They did arrest a terrorist recently, a kidnapper rather, that is also a Christian.
No doubt.
Right. I put it to you,
no. Presently, when you talk about the killing in this country, we know where it's channeled to.
Okay.
Let's not deceive ourselves. That's why when I started, I say, what you give to Paul, give to Barnabas. The creek there, the bushes there, have bandits or whatever. They are Muslims. It's written in the Quran too, the same thing that's written in the Bible. most of the things they are doing, they know is wrong. Get the Quran, send to them. Send us the Bible, 1 million Bible, 1 million Quran. It's balance. But if you say you sent 1 million Bible and you're announcing it, you're not helping, you're just doing politics.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report. We'll go on a break. When we get back, we'll continue with the rest of our reports. Please stay with us. and thank you so much for staying with us. You're still tuned into Atlantic Television Network Society Watch, and I'm still talking to Davis Ababo and now the rest of our reports. Nigeria Labour Congress has declared full support for the Academic Staff Union of Universities as it begins a 2-week warning strike, describing the action as justified and overdue. NLC President Joe Ajaero accused the federal government of neglecting public education through chronic underfunding and repeated failure to honor agreements reached with university workers. He said the government's decision to threaten lecturers with a no-work, no-pay policy instead of a dialogue misrepresents the situation, insisting the breach of contract lies with the state, not the scholars. Ajaero stressed that the crisis goes beyond an industrial dispute, warning that the neglect of public universities widens educational inequality between the elite and working-class families. He declared that the struggle of ASU is our struggle, urging the government to honor all agreements and end the cycle of strikes and disruption. The NLC warned that if the government fails to act within the 2-week window, the labor movement will mobilize its affiliates for a broader response. We are currently on strike in universities, and that is because, according to ASU, they've made a demand for 16 years since 2009 that the federal government has refused to meet. What are your thoughts on this report?
Nigeria is the only country that education don't matter to the government. Why? Education cannot bring the kind of money they want.
But we are always taught that, education is the future.
Before they used to say, the young shall grow. Today, the old refuse to die. So the young cannot grow. The young, we have been young, and we are now grown up. The old people are still ruling us till today. So when it comes to this ASU thing, to an extent I blame them.
You blame ASU?
Yes. Why? Because right from my days in the university, ASU has been going on strike. They've gone for 2-year strike. They've gone for 1-year strike. They've gone for 6-month strike. Once they call them inside the house, give them small milk, it's over. They'll call off the strike.
Do you think that shows a broader reflection of what is going on? You think that's what's been happening for 16 years?
To me, I believe so. Why? Because they will go back to classes and say the students are suffering without getting their benefits. They will go discuss with the government, later go back to classroom saying they are feeling for the students. If you want to fight, fight. If you don't want to fight, don't even start it. Nigeria is a country that the government decide the pace of every business. Talking about NLC joining this strike, I laugh. The same NLC that will hold strike for 2-3 days, they'll call them inside. They'll come back and tell their people that we are going back to work without good explanation. They are just making themselves useful presently as if they are with ASU. Once they call them, go and discuss. After the discussion, small thing gets to their pocket, it's over.
Why do you think this matter hasn't been fixed for this amount of years? Do you think that it's because the negotiations haven't been called forth in the way that... Do you think it's because the government doesn't have the money to meet the needs of ASU or their demands for this 16 years? Or do you think, like you're saying, maybe they call a few people and they settle it out and it goes, the strike is being called off?
In Nigeria, unionism, it's one thing that it's very hard to work in this country. Why I sound like this, it's like the people ruling Nigeria today, they are not bigger than Nigeria.
Absolutely.
You understand? But one person can be holding 30 billion naira in his account. The people that the elites that are ruling Nigeria today, they are not up to 3,000. They are not up to 10,000. but they are suffering the millions of Nigerians today. That's what these unions are. As to have the people they pick to represent them.
There's always leadership structure.
You understand? At the end of the day, a common Nigerian politician will say, keep the dog hungry, and he will always return home. They'll leave them hungry. They'll mobilize, go for that strike. They'll call the people involved, call them inside, give them parcel. If you're being given $5,000, one person, give you $5,000, your life will just change. They believe that one now, we can go and tell them, or go back and tell them that we'll see what we'll do.
Now, I mean, do you have facts to bridge this? Now, why we consider, if you actually have facts, I did talk to a professor recently, and in talking to that professor, he mentioned to me that his salary structure, we were actually discussing the strike action, because earlier the strike action was proposed by professors in universities where they were complaining about their salary structure. And I asked, a professor that I know personally, and I said, how much do you earn as a professor? And he told me 500,000. Now that brings to bear the fact that Governor Imoeno did mention that his PAs earn a minimum of they earn at least 1 million naira each. Now, when you put it side by side, how long it takes to be a professor, how many papers you get to write, how many years you get to spend in the university, do you think that this, agreement or this coalition that the government should have with tertiary institution, do you think this is the best time for us to bridge it and make them live better lives moving forward?
The politician that is there today passed through a lecturer.
Right.
The president that is there today passed through a lecturer. That's why I always use somebody like our former governor, FCT Minister Wike, as an example. He believes he's a lawyer.
Oh, he is a lawyer. It's not a matter of belief.
Yeah, he believes and he's a lawyer. Let's say he's
absolutely
a lawyer.
He is.
And he believes there's no way a judge cannot live in his own house. I don't know if you get that. There's no way. He's a lawyer. Mm-hmm. There's no way a judge will be living in a rented apartment.
Right.
To him, it's not possible.
Right.
But judges are living in a rented apartment. Judges in this country, in these states, are living in rented apartments.
Oh, he's been doing a lot of work.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said I appreciate him for that.
Okay.
You understand? These are his set of people. He makes sure.
Right.
They are always comfortable.
Anywhere, anytime he gets a chance to do that.
Wherever he has the chance to do it,
right,
he makes sure they are comfortable. Two things might be involved, but I don't want to know what's involved.
Okay.
But the comfort of this set of people. Professor Sibanjo was a lecturer.
Oh, yes.
You understand? He was the vice president. If somebody will have to solicit for these people, it was supposed to be him. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was a lecturer. What did he do for them? Nothing. He was collecting the same money these people are talking about then. And he was complaining inside his mind. When he became president, he forgot everything. So if you weigh the options of these people, I will not say their costs. I will just say the professors and the lecturers in the universities have been forgotten.
Does that in any way show that as Nigerians we value education?
They're telling you plain that education is nothing. That's why today, if you have a child, you ask your child, what do you want to be in future? Your child open her mouth or his mouth and say, I want to be a teacher. Look at the child. Everything in this world is teacher. I was asking my little kids today, One said she wants to be a policewoman. I laughed. The other one said she wants to be a firefighter. I say in Nigeria, a firefighter in Nigeria. But it's their choice because they are small. So these lecturers, the government must have to do the best they can do for them. I wish the same FCT minister was a lecturer. I believe they would have been one of the best people to enjoy today, if not in every state, in Rivers State.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Atlantic Society Watch. Thank you, Davis Ababo, for coming on the show and giving us good insight. Remember, we are open for sponsorship of this program. Adverts, jingles, and advert placement, news and events coverage, personality, society, and political interviews, product service promotion, and commercials. Watch us live on www.atlanticnetwork.tv. You can find us on Avo TV channel 205, Limex TV platform, Ifestec platform, Apple TV, Niger TV, and Iroku TV. Connect with us on all our ATN socials. Subscribe, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. We're on X on Atlantic TV Net. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Otaria Benjamin. Stay with us. Up next is International Tidbits.